All right, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, April 2nd, and we have market open in about 30 seconds. So just going to be on the lookout for um, the rejection scalps for market open. Just make sure that your auto trading or whatnot is enabled because yesterday I kind of missed a trade because of that. So let's see. Um, So nothing on the 15 minute, nothing on the 30 minute. Nothing on the hourly, 4 hour, nothing on the daily. All right, so let's see if we get All right. Wow. Let's see something here. Okay, so we have a rejection area right here. Let's see what zone this is in. So it's in an overlap zone. So I would rather have had this rejection zone in a red zone. So I'm not going to take that. The other item here is that we have this 15-minute bullish low. If we put the 20 point rejection area here, it kind of falls in between this 15-minute bullish low. So I don't take any rejection scalps if my TP or stop loss is within an order block. However, anybody who wants to take it, I can mark it up for you guys on the 5 second. We also have one for gold here. For gold, this is 128.3. It would have to reach 129.3, which it has. So I'll mark both of them. I'm not going to take either. I would have loved to take the US 31, but unless we get another one for US 30. Unless we get another one here, another rejection scalp where US 30 is. Um, so let's see. So the US 31 would be printing and also the gold one. So I'm not going to take either. I'm not going to be taking rejection scalps for gold. But if you do take the rejection scalp for gold, just take it with a 1:1 risk to reward. I really don't suggest the 1:5 risk to reward for gold because it rarely moves with that much momentum. So this for gold it would be a $2. Actually, never mind. For gold, there's nothing because this rejection zones were or levels were not in a red zone. So forget about gold actually. So there's nothing for gold. Let's see if maybe something else prints on the other time frames, but I'm hoping we get a print for US 30 somewhere above here. So maybe if US30 comes to 41,960 probably, but we'll see. This is okay. So your US30 entry would be if you are taking it, that would be it right there. Again, I'm not taking it because the rejection level was um by the order block, and also we were mostly in an overlap area. So if it matches anything you have, that would be it. Again, personally, I am not taking it, but that would be the 1:5 markup. But for these trades I did mention, you can take them with a 1:1 risk to reward if you don't want to be taking them with a 1:5. So the 1:1 markup would be right there. So you'd have already hit your TP for 1:1. And then at this point, if you want to write it for 1:5, just set your stop loss to break even. And again, this one, I didn't take it, so either way, I'm not going to count it as a official trade. But I really wished we did not have that overlap of zones. I really wish we did not have this 15-minute bullish order block. But it's fine. We'll just wait for to see if we get another one. But took it, if you took it with a 1:1, you should have already hit your take profit for the day. Okay, so this trade would have ended up at break even. Um, so either if you took it for a 1:1, you would have had your profit for the day. If you took it for a 1:5 with break even set at 1:1, you would be out at break even. So let's see if we get, I would like US30 to push up here to this level right here, to 41,940. Now, this would be a fantastic trade, which I think we'll get to here because you can see we also have order blocks here, right? You can see all this order blocks. So I will put a alert 10 points away from this zone, 41,967.3. So somewhere around there, put an alert. Gold as well. So you can see gold as well so gold would have gotten stopped out, right? Um, and again, I wouldn't have even, if I was thinking about taking gold, I wouldn't have taken gold because when we turned on the zones, this area where the rejection levels are, we did not have any supply zone. So you want to make sure that, again, if you're selling, make sure you're in a supply zone. If you're buying, make sure you're in a demand zone. So there's one currently for gold right here for this is on the 30-minute, 131.6, 132 point. It did not reach the $1 threshold. So nothing. So I really let's see if we can get price to come all the way up there for US30. Also, if you're interested to take a EMA rejection, you can see we are approaching the 200 EMA. Again, for this one, you can see the if we draw up our 200 point marker for where our 1:1 is, you can see for this EMA rejection, the take profit is in the weekly bullish low order block is in the way of the take profit. So even for this EMA rejection, anyone who would want to take it, it's not one that I would recommend to take. Same thing that happened here. Same thing why I didn't take the 15-minute rejection there. I may get a sell opportunity for rejection, trendline SAR rejection level for gold, depending on how this 15-minute candle closes. But um, okay. For the Yeah, for this one, the EMA one, let's see, 9707. Yeah, I would rather just wait for price to get up here. But the EMA one, I'm not even going to mark that up because I haven't done back testing for it. Why am I missing US 30? Okay, this is US 30. And just a something else I've noticed, if you have a bunch of SAR rejection levels at the same area, just keep in mind that you might get stopped out. So the idea is to always take the entry at the most optimal level. So right here, technically the most optimal level is this weekly sell right here. Sometimes price doesn't have to get all the way up there, but just keep in mind that if you have multiple levels that are close to each other, rejection levels that are close to each other, you might get stopped out for maybe the first two or so trades. So maybe it's an instance where you just, um, put that or budget that in your risk. So currently you can see that rejection from the 200 EMA. Again, for this one, right? Where the 200 EMA was price, the 20-point TP and stop loss was in the way of the weekly bullish low. So as much as I think this one would have hit a 1:1, I think if you're going for if you would have gone for a 1:5 risk to reward, price would come and take you out at break even because you can see that liquidity at the top there. So this one, yes, would have hit a 1:1, a 1:1 risk to reward, but price would have come up and taken you out at break even. So you can see for this uh rejection, and actually it depends on what slippage you might have because you could have been slipped out by price here. But anyway, so assuming you didn't get slipped out and you're going for a 1:5 risk to reward for the EMA rejection, price would have come already and taken you out at break even again. So that's the essence of this order blocks, right? When price gets to this order blocks, you want the order blocks to be in the direction you're trading, which is why I'm loving this entries at the top here because you can see we have an hourly order block, we have a 30-minute order block. So any rejection scalp we get here might actually give us that 1:5. Maybe the first 1:5 trade for the month so far. Okay, so let me see that entry for gold. Okay, so there is a gold, let me see, there is a gold sell, the one I was talking about for the 15-minute time frame, and this happened so quickly. Let's see what the TP and stop loss would be. Would need a $5 TP stop loss, $5 TP stop loss. That's a little tight as well. But yeah, this happened so fast. I'll share my other screen. I haven't really taken this setup in a while, but there is a gold sale running here, right? So here you have the trend line and SAR rejection. And as of last year, right, this was my most profitable strategy, but I forgot to pay attention to it. So this particular one, you had a rejection of the resistance line, and then price closed below an SAR level, right? So price closed below this SAR level. So the entry we would have taken would have been at that SAR level. Unfortunately, price went by so fast, and this one would have gone instantly into profit. So it's fine. We'll just need to wait for another one. So that would have been the trade right there. I know I'd mentioned it a few minutes ago, but I forgot to monitor it when the 15-minute candle was closing. But you can see here, if this zones line up, we were in a red. By the time this candle was closing, this should have been a red zone because I had looked at it. Now we might get a 30-minute. If you look at on my right here, we might get a 30-minute entry because if this candle, 30-minute candle closes the way it is against this, whatever, against this line, I'm sorry, against this resistance line, we might get a trend line SAR entry on gold on the 30-minute time frame as well. So let me mark that up for now. This one you would need this one is pretty high, maybe a 10. Let's see what TradingView gives us. This one you'd need a $10 TP and stop loss, I think. Yeah, about a $10 TP and stop loss. Maybe 15 if you want to be safer, but let's see how this one closes. So this one, maybe there wasn't that supply zone, but anyway, when you're doing the bar replay, when you're using the bar replay tool with the zones indicator, sometimes it doesn't show the actual zone that was there. But let's wait for this 30-minute entry to see if it does materialize. This would be a trend line and SAR rejection. For US 30, nothing really. So I'll go back to the other screen and we'll see if we can get that US 30 entry. Yeah. So let's see. For gold, So gold right here will probably get some resistance at the 200 DMA, something like that, maybe to tag into, because this 200 DMA is also next to some order blocks. So gold as well, let's see if we can probably track the 200 DMA rejection to the upside. So this 117.8 should be 116.8, somewhere around here. Somewhere around there. US 30 really doesn't want to give the, let's look at NAS. NASDAQ, NASDAQ, NASDAQ. So NASDAQ has a, let's see, for people who trade NASDAQ, let's see what happened with NASDAQ here. Uh, okay. So gold is rejecting from, that's 100 USD. I'll probably create a chart for NAS. So gold is rejecting from that 200 DMA. That was, let me go back here. Since US 30 doesn't want to give anything. So gold is rejecting from that 200 DMA. So anybody who wants to take gold again to test out the 200, again, I haven't back tested the EMA rejections, but for anyone who is interested, and again, I just recommend going for a $2 TP and stop loss for gold. And this one you would be, say, on the way right there. But, you know, anytime I go on the 5-second chart, what you're looking for is this green X right there. For NASDAQ, because I'd seen the chart for NASDAQ. NASDAQ here, let's see. When price got to 19,398, what happened? 19,398 would go to 408. 19,398 would go to 408. So NASDAQ would have, I think NASDAQ would have lost. Maybe. Let's see. Yeah, NASDAQ looks like would have lost. Yeah, NASDAQ would have gotten stopped out with a 20-point TP stop loss. But 19,398. Yeah. Mm, 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 mm. Let's see. I'm really hoping we get this US 30 trade later, in the next few moments. But ideally, this is the only thing I'm waiting for right here. If it doesn't come right now, probably during the afternoon session. So this is what I'm waiting for US 30. Gold, ideally, if you'd be in this gold trade, would be back and forth, which is another reason why I really don't want to be trading gold for rejection scalps. But so that one would have won for the EMA rejection. So until I test, or we can forward test this EMA rejections during the live session, but I only start taking such trades unless I've validated them or I've done a lot of back testing. So for the EMA, mostly this one, it's mostly going to be forward testing. And based off of how I have my account set up, each account is set up to take its own strategy. So I really don't like mixing strategies. So if I do find that also EMA rejections are profitable, um, then maybe I can start trading them. But anyway, so this gold EMA rejection would have been a winner, especially going for 1:2. Remember, I'm watching for a gold sell on the 30-minute time frame based off of the trend line and SAR rejection. So I do anticipate gold to maybe come back to what is this area? The SAR is at 31.24. So gold can probably ride back here, 31.24, and then something like that. So this is the move right here. I'm waiting to ride for the trend line and SAR rejection. So we'll see if we hopefully can get that. But and you can see, right? You can see that 200 DMA rejection. And again, right, I wish this was a SAR level because you can see this order block. So you can see the power of having an order block that is pushing in your direction. So price came down right here on the 15-minute time frame, rejected from the 200 DMA, dropped down a little bit further, the $1 retracement right there that we normally expect from an area of reversal, tapped into this 15-minute bullish order block. We were in a demand zone, and ideally this also would count as an A plus setup because you have all those things, all those confluences matching up together. So once you have like all those confluences matching up together, that's the instance where you can have a 1:, 1:5, etc. So for example, this one, let's see if this particular one would tie or would reach a 1:5 risk to reward by the end of before coming back to break even. So we know that 1:2 got hit. I'm sorry, 1:1 risk to reward got hit here. So let's see if this is that instance where maybe gold would have, ridden to a 1:5 R. It's 34 hour. Um, Yeah, so this 30-minute trade, let's move back to the other chart because I think this 30-minute trade will validate. I don't see anything for the Okay, so let's see here. So zones. So we're in a supply zone here for gold. Yes. So what I will do. Okay, so what we need here, I need, so gold rejection resistance 30-minute. We have also a rejection resistance on gold on the hourly, but that's not valid. I can also see US 30 is coming for that rejection scalp. So for gold, just watch 30, 31.24, and we're about to tap that area. So let me put an alert. US 30 is also pushing up. So 31.24, I will just make sure my accounts for that are set. Sometimes this happens so fast. Risk TP. So this would be 1,000, 1,000. Yeah, something like that. And so the thing here, we don't want price to go in our direction first before tapping us in. So our TP would be $10. So we don't want price to get to this zone, to get to 50% of our take profit first before coming back to tap us in. So I will add an alert here, and then I will move to the US 30 chart for the rejection scalp because I think we are about to get it. So moving back here, we can see now here we have at the very least here we have two zones, right? So one thing we don't want for this rejection scalp, we don't want when price gets to this rejection area for price to come up the distance of like half our take profit, which I'm assuming, the previous take profit would be like 1:1. So we don't want price coming down like 10, 15, or 20 points from this zone. So I want to take the rejection. I want price to blow through this area, and even better, if we can get a big spike that taps all these four rejection areas first, that would be even better. But we want to observe what price does when it gets to these rejection levels. If it does have a rejection level exactly from these SAR levels, all we need to do is wait for we have what? We have one, two, three. We have three rejection levels above. So even though price touches both of these SAR levels and rejects back down to the downside, thus invalidating our rejection scalp, then we can always wait for price to come up to this other three levels up there. Gold is pushing down. So we need gold to come to 31.24 first before reaching 31.17. Right. I'll be back. Give me one moment. Okay. So here you can see that for the first level, price has rejected back. So when price reached this 4-hour buy, and we need to confirm that it's there, yes. When price reached this 4-hour buy at 41,951, 41, let's see, at 41,951, let's see, where's US 30? Okay, so you see both of them. So at this point, this invalidates. So at this point, we go ahead and delete, and I'll go over why. So when price has reached 41,957, 41,951, you can see we've had like a 10-point drop already. So 957, we've had that. Actually, it's a 20-point drop. So the issue here, why I'm not going to take this is that I want price to tap into my 10-point marker first before pushing back down. But what price did here, it tapped on the rejection level first, went up, went up 3 points only, and then came back down. So at this point, what we do, we go ahead and move our rejection scalp area to the next zone. So 991, so we'll move it to, and this is the daily, so this is a good level. So we'll move it to 01.2, so somewhere there. So we wait for price to come to us right there, right, right there. Gold is again coming. So if we get to this area, if we get to this area, I'll be taking a sell on gold based off of the trend line and SAR rejection level in the 30-minute time frame. Um, 35. All right, so let's wait for US 30. I think eventually it's going to come up here. And if not, we'll probably come all the way to this hourly buy. That's all the way up here. Gold is still playing games. Oh, 36. And later on in the, yeah, I still think gold will push up. I'm sorry, US 30 will push up. Because later on in the day, we might get a SAR levels rejection entry here. And this would be like a 200-point move, maybe later on. Yeah, this would be actually a pretty nice trade if it does come up later. Leave this here. For gold, I think I'll do a $15 stop loss. Yeah. So if this gold sell validates, I'll do a $15 stop loss and not a $10 stop loss. I think we need a wider stop loss for that. Gold. Mm. It's taking forever. All right. So I'm looking for a crossover sell here on gold. So I'm looking for a red X and then I'll take a sell on gold. So again, this trade here, I'm just tracking it. I want to see how often gold would, I'm sorry. Yeah, gold would ride to a 1:5. But here I am looking for that crossover sell. Da, 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 da. Looking for a crossover sell here. And this one would be a $15 TP, $15 stop loss. Technically, for trendline SAR rejection, you don't have to wait for the crossover sell. You can just enter when price reaches or when price reaches the SAR. But there it is. So I'm selling gold right now. Make sure it's actually selling. Selling gold right there. So that's my entry for gold. $15 stop loss, $15 TP. This is based off of trendline and SAR rejection. So I don't want to have to switch to the other chart just as of yet. Ideally, because I am anticipating this US 30 entry and I don't want to miss it. But I am in a sell for gold currently. And let's see if we can have a pushback down. US 30. Okay, US 30 rejection resistance. Let's see if there's any entry there. No, no entry. Mm, 15. Okay, let's see if we finally get this entry for US 30. Mhm. All right, there we go. Let's see. Come on. Come on. Let's see. Two. So we are already at, so we don't want to see a rejection just as of yet before we get to the 10 points. We don't want to see like a 10-point rejection here. We want price to get to, there we go. Uh, Mm, 91. This is tricky. Come on, get there. Huh. Mm, we need. Okay, there it is. Okay, so we need a crossover cell from here. Um, in any case, I would like US 30 to keep pushing up, but keep in mind here, we have two levels above there. So just know that you might get stopped out as price tries to go higher. But I'm looking for that crossover cell, which is not yet. So you'll need to make sure that it prints. Okay, there it is. Crossover cell for US 30. Set break even. If you can either go for a 1:2. I'm sorry, 1:1, and then you set break even. Um, so the 1:1 would be right there. So let's see. Okay, so it's already at a 1:1 risk to reward. Depending on slippage, I had some slippage on my end. So I am still running in. So you can go ahead and set break even for this particular one. 20 points is somewhere around there. I think it should still come down and hit. But for me, I'm shooting for a 1:5 risk to reward for this trade. And we need to dip. If we close below that consolidation, we should get a shoot down. There it is. Perfect. Why isn't my thing is now moving stop loss to break even? Okay, so my stop loss is at break even. Currently running. So I risked 2,000 on this trade. So we just hit 1:2. There we go. Come on, come on. So if you're going for 1:1, 1:2, you should already be in profit or out of the trade. Least, at the very least, set break even. We should get a push down. That's what I'm anticipating. But price can easily come back and hit break even. But just keep an eye out on that. Come on. Now the issue with going for a 1:5 is that sometimes price will just come and tap you out. But um, we just wait for the next one if we get tapped out. But the idea with going for a 1:5 is that even though sometimes you're leaving, personally, I don't take partials, but if say I was up at some point 4K, but if price comes back and taps me out at break even, the idea of the 1:5 is that it happens frequently, or it happens enough times, and I'm out at break even. It happens enough times that it's going to make up for the times you've missed out on the trade. But say for example today, so for example this one I'll just record it as at break even. If I was still taking 1:1 trades, that would have been a win. But so for this one, I'm still going to record it as break even. And then what I'm doing, because I want statistics for this month as well, if you guys remember, and actually we're not done because price can easily come back all the way up here. So let me put an alert. 27, 37.3. 37.3. So there is still an opportunity here for price to swing back down. So this one, let me see. 41,989.6, 41,989.6. Let me take a screen grab for my journal. So this was a, and I have to drop off in a few minutes, but this was a break-even trade. Break-even. So there's another selling area right here. And again, if this doesn't work out, there's a last one right here at the weekly level. So price can keep pushing up from here. So price can easily keep going to this zone, come back, go to this one. And then from here, we get that big one. So for me, I'll be observing those areas right there. So gold is currently in drawdown. But hopefully for you guys, if you're not comfortable doing the 1:5s with me, just go for a 1:1. You'll still have a very high win rate. Because as I showed you guys last month, or between February and March, just by taking the 1:1 risk to reward on US 30, I had a profit of 15,000, about 15,000. So and even for me, that's part of my plan going forward. I will get another account that exits the trade at 1:1. And then I just hold this particular trade or this particular account at, or, my main account at 1:5. But other than that, I have to drop off for another call. I'll stay, let me see. My call is in a couple of minutes. So let me stay for two or more, about 2 minutes to see if we get this one right here. And I will record this. So today is 4/2, US 30, hit break even, but it reached a 1:1 risk to reward. So technically between yesterday and today, I've left on the table $4,000 because yesterday we had a break even trade that ideally reached a 1:1 risk to reward. Um, But you can see as much as right I've take quote unquote left 4,000 on the table. If I do get or when I do get, because I know I'll get that 1:5 risk to reward, I'll make $10,000. So right, it's just the question of when do you get that 1:5 risk to reward. So I can go 5 consecutive days hitting break even on US 30. I'm sorry, hitting break even on US 30, meaning if I had gone for a 1:1 risk to reward, I would have made $10,000. But on the sixth day, I hit a 1:5 risk to reward, and then I'm up 10,000. So ideally, I would be up the same amount if I was taking this other trades. And who knows, maybe the next day I hit another consecutive 1:5 risk to reward, and then I'm up now 20,000. So that's for me, that's the mentality of going for the 1:5. But we'll see the statistics for April. So April will be, because I already did the statistics for March, between 1:2 and 1:1. So the statistics I'm also recording for the month of April is the statistics of 1:5 compared to 1:1. So here we are for US 30 again. So we don't want to see a rejection here. So 27, we don't want to see a rejection all the way to 17. So we're already here. We don't want price to get to 40.17 before coming up here first. We need that 10-point marker to be reached. There it is. Come on. Perfect. Okay. So same thing. We do the same thing here. Let me make sure. So we go for 20 pips. Oh, I'm sorry, 20 points. And let's see. All right, let's see if we get that. Sure, we need the crossover sell. Hopefully not a big candle. Hopefully not a big candle. And again, for you guys, if you're still not comfortable with the wide risk to reward, just go for a 1:1 risk to reward. You should be fine. I don't want such a big candle. But you can see we do have some selling pressure, right? You can see those big spikes to the downside. I just want a semi smaller candle. So actually, if it wants to go up, the better because, right, we still have another zone up here. So if it decides to push and push up from here before giving us the crossover sell, even better because the selling pressure will be better to push our okay, so there it is. So there's that trade right there. Might get stopped out. Yeah, looks like we might get stopped out on this one. I'm still in it. I guess slippage worked in my favor. Let's see. Yep, still coming back down. So I'm still in it. So my entry was somewhere there. But based off of price action, looks like price might shoot to the upside. So best case scenario, we get a reversal. But yeah, so taken out of that trade, we still have one last level. So this is what I was mentioning earlier. Once you do have areas where you have back-to-back levels, just adjust your risk accordingly. 0.81, let's see one last time, 0.91 point, but I really have to drop off 91.67 here. Add alert. Okay, let's see, 91.7. So same thing here, 79.80. I need price to shoot up. Come on. Need price to shoot up 10 points. Let's see. 81. Nah. I was hoping I miscalculated, but so at this point, price has rejected from that rejection level, so there's nothing really to do. So for me, it hasn't met my threshold for the rejection. So yeah, at this point, I'll just call it a day. I will, of course, there's the afternoon session where I normally scout for rejection scalps, but this might be that move back down to the downside, right? For 1:5. Unfortunately, we needed for price to get to this zone first before coming down. And you can see here 66, 66, 56. Yeah. So I'll go ahead and delete this alert. But yeah, so maybe this is the instance where price would be coming back down. 41, 42,038, 42,038 for that law right there. Actually, it was on that candle. Okay. One last thing, and maybe you guys can remind me of this in future, right? The candle, and I keep forgetting that. So for that particular trade, remember, when we're trading a candle, we want to trade the candle that's rejecting off of a level, right? So that particular trade took it at 10:30, 10:31, 10:31 when this 15-minute candle had already closed, right? So we shouldn't have taken that trade because by the time I was taking that trade, this new candle had opened. Remember, you want to trade the candle that's currently going from a rejection level. You don't want to trade when a candle has already closed. So I'll just put a reminder for myself to check the time when I'm entering the trade and make sure that I'm not trading on a candle that has already closed because here for this trade, we took it when this candle had already closed, which means that the candle had already closed above the rejection level, while the anticipation was that the candle closes below the rejection level. So anyway, that's my bad. But anyway, so it's still an official trade. So for today, it should be minus 0.75 uh, for that particular trade, but should be able to get it back up even when we do hit that 1:5. Gold is still running, still in a little bit of drawdown, but I'm still in this gold trade. This US 30 trade, right? So maybe this is the instance where US 30 could have dropped, what is it called? 1:5 or 100 points. But anyway, we did not get confirmation for that trade. So we'll just wait for the next time. We'll wait for tomorrow and see if we do get another trade. But I'll be looking for entries between 1:30 p.m. to 2 to 3 p.m. during the afternoon session for rejection scalps, and maybe we'll get an entry. Here as well on the hourly time frame, you see what I'd marked up here? There is a trend line and SCR rejection entry here. So if this hourly candle closes below this rejection level where US 30 has just rejected from, I will be setting a pending order for US 30, 1:1 risk to reward, stop loss 300 points, stop loss 200 points, take profit 200 points. But if it does validate, I can send that in the group or in the Discord later. But other than that, so tomorrow we won't have a live session, and I'm pretty sure tomorrow is probably when I'll get that 1:5 risk to reward trade. Because it looks like the days we don't have a live session is the day those 1:5 risk to reward trades hit. But our next live session will be on Friday. I will see you guys then. Happy trading.